Okay, today we're joined by Scott Berdahl from Snowline Gold. He's the CEO. How long have you been with the company, Scott?
I've been with the company since its inception. We launched a year and a half ago, March 2021.
Interesting. Okay. Well, tell us about yourself and how you fit into the company and all about the company background.
Sure. So I grew up prospecting in the Yukon territory, and my father's a prospector. He's been prospecting up there since the 80s. I've been doing it almost as long, and so since I was a very little kid, I've been out exploring, working in early stage mineral exploration, and actually working on the very projects that Snowline now has. So my official involvement with the company is March 2021, but I co-founded the company and basically brought the properties together to put into Snowline, and those come from our family company that has acquired and discovered this portfolio of assets over the years. And so that's how Snowline got its start, was this kind of regional focused, decades-long process to really bring together these projects that had gotten as far as we could advance them as private prospectors. And so, after trying a few avenues of advancing them through optioning out and that sort of a thing, it was clear that the best way forward was to launch a company, to attract investment, and to just go after them.
So the fact that you kind of started the boots on the ground, you have special insights to the nuances of the mines, sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, they're early stage prospects. They're not mines yet, but certainly, I know the territory very well. I was born and raised there, and I live there now. And some of these projects, my father staked one of them in the late 80s. This is now part of Snowline's portfolio. I've been working on these projects since the 90s, and some of them, including our flagship Rogue and Einarson assets, I've been involved with since the initial claim posts, putting those into the ground and going from there. So it's been a long process. I know the projects very well, and I've gotten to know the geology very well also.
Excellent. So talk about the team a little bit and how they differentiate from other companies.
Yeah, we've put together a really remarkable roster of geologists and a very strong board, geologists and other professionals that are driving the team forward. And so we're very lucky to have Craig Hart. He's a PhD geologist as our chair, very well respected in the industry, especially in the academic side. He was with the Yukon Geological Survey for 14 years. Did his PhD on the very type of system that we're in the process of making a large discovery on. And he subsequently was head of MGRU, the Mineral Deposit Research Unit at UBC, for I think another 14 years. So he's done a lot. He's worked with a lot of majors in basically supervising PhDs of now very bright and star geologists in very high positions in big companies. So having that knowledge, that insight on the Yukon, but also those connections and everything else has really put us in good stead. And having his eyes on the rocks has been instrumental in moving the company forward. The rest of the board is a very active, multifaceted team, bringing different angles and different layers of expertise. One director has commented he's been involved in a lot of different public companies, and this is by far the most active he's ever been on a board. And we demand that of them, and they demand that of us, the other board members. In coming in, said this is what they want to be a part of. They want to be a part of a company that really works hard and takes things seriously and operates with integrity. And so we ask a lot of our board, and they ask a lot from us. And at the management level, we've assembled a very strong roster of mostly young professionals who are really dedicated and doing a lot of hard work, and it becomes my job just to try to keep up with them.
Interesting. Sounds like a broad team and good board. So with that said, how do they fit into the shareholder mix in terms of percent owned by insiders, private, public, retail?
Mm-hmm. So management owns about 8.6% of the company. And we have, as a family-owned company, our private enterprise, we own a good roughly 20% of the company. There are several strong hands and early supporters of the company that own large stakes, and so we are pretty secure, I suppose, from a share standpoint, in that people who are invested in this story get what we're doing. They're in it for they see the prize at the end in terms of genuine discoveries, really potential for tier 1 discoveries here in an area that just hasn't been explored before. And so Keith Newmeyer is a major shareholder. He owns about 6% of the company. He was instrumental in launching the company with us and bringing in the shell, putting together the initial deal with us to launch Snowline and to get it public and really to set us on our path. And Crescat Capital has come in. They have about an 18.6% stake of the company. They have also taken part in every financing we've done since the IPO. They've been enthusiastic supporters of what we're doing, and they really get what we're after as well. So we're very fortunate to have that kind of backing behind the company, and that's really allowed us to have the trajectory that we've had so far.
Sounds like a good blend of investors.
Absolutely.
So let's roll that into financials. How's the financials of the company, and how much runway do you have?
We're in a good place. We have about $28 million in the bank right now, maybe 27. We're in the middle of an active exploration season. And we're going to end the season with roughly $26 million in the bank. And that gives us runway for, if we want to do fairly aggressive seasons like we did this year, that gives us runway for 2 more full seasons of 3 drills turning all season. And if we ratchet it up, we could, it's still more than a full season of exploration work. So we're in a very good spot financially.
That's good. So let's get into kind of strengths and weaknesses of the company. You've got some great strengths. What would you say would be your weaknesses, and how are you addressing them?
The biggest flag that everyone brings up all the time is our location. And so we chose in launching the company, well, as prospectors, as I mentioned, we went out kind of off the beaten path to find new things. That was our competitive advantage. And so as a company, we have these very, I would argue, jaw-dropping targets. I mean, they drop my jaw looking at them from time to time when we get the results back, but they're remote. And so that gives us the opportunity to look at this area that has just tremendous geological potential, and to see things that just haven't been seen before. There, our main target, the Valley discovery right now, is a kilometre-scale intrusion. It doesn't show up on any geological map, but you can see these mineralized outcrops just sticking out of the ground. We made another discovery last year called Jupiter, an orogenic gold discovery, and you have these big boulders just coming down the stream for 3 kilometers. They're well mineralized. They assay up to 25 grams per ton, and yet that's never been staked. There's no min-file occurrence there, anything like that. So this really just is unexplored country. That said, so the weakness comes in, given that we're remote, there's a high bar. We're not crazy remote. There's a winter trail that comes to within 30 kilometers of our valley discovery, but we are out there, and so we recognize that there's a higher bar. But looking at that geology, we think that the geology compensates for that in terms of its potential. And based on the results we've had from our inception just a year and a half ago to today, where we're looking at some very exciting discoveries that it looks like we can clear that hurdle.
Interesting. So how many properties are you kind of looking at in terms of exploration total?
We've ended or launched the company with 7 properties. And so 4 of those are kind of this giga project, I guess you could call it, where we have about 127,000 hectares in this part of the Yukon that, as I said, has just seen very little historical exploration. And in that larger project of 4 projects, we've drilled 2 targets, well now 3 targets to date. We made 2 big drill discoveries last year. We've just started drilling a 3rd. We've already hit visible gold in drill core there, which is a very encouraging sign. And these are totally grassroots targets that have never been looked at before. As I mentioned, even the geology doesn't show up on the map. And so to be drilling them, and this isn't like a recycled story. This is just total greenfield exploration. And to be making gold discoveries with that kind of a success rate is really exciting to us. And as far as I can tell, unprecedented, especially in modern times. So
very virgin territory, it sounds.
Yeah, and so those are 3 targets of more than 20 on this broader package. So going forward, we have a lot of work to do in fleshing out these discoveries that we've made, but we also have a lot of work to do. We don't want to just lose the forest for one particular tree, and so we do have a lot of work to do to continue to build this as a district and show that this isn't just the story of this deposit or this deposit. That this is really a geological province that we're bringing online.
Do you have some advanced technologies that some companies maybe not be using to move forward here?
I don't think, we are using a lot of state-of-the-art technologies in our exploration. Really our advantage comes from the deep history we have working there, and we do have we've put together from our private prospecting work and now from Snowline's work, a strong database, a very comprehensive database there that guides our exploration. And, we're learning these rocks better than anybody else. So we already have the first mover land position. And but we also have kind of a peek over the fence at other areas that no one else has. And so we really understand that region better than anyone else at this point.
Excellent. It sounds exciting. You guys have got a lot of prospects there.
Absolutely. And and the grades and intervals we're seeing in drill core are really something else.
So what if everything goes well and you find some great gold in that area? What's your kind of future look in terms of financing, mergers, or exit strategy, financing? What is the future hold for you?
Yeah, we have a lot of options on the table given the diversity and size of our claim package, and as I mentioned, the number of targets and now even multiple discoveries. We initially set the company up with the intention of setting it up for a takeout, and that's still very much on our radar and very much the trajectory that we're kind of advancing towards. But the diversity and the size of the claim package and the projects that we're really putting together, does open the door to other opportunities as well. So, we'll be looking to maximize value for shareholders as we progress, and whether that's just an all-out takeout, whether that's a spin-out, whether it's something else, that we'll cross those bridges as we get to them.
Okay, excellent. So I ask everyone, when is gold going to have its day?
That's a good question, and I'm probably the wrong person to ask. I know how to look for it. I'm not a macroeconomist or economist. I can't even say it. We're looking for deposits that are going to be profitable at, whether it's $1,700 gold or whether it's $1,200 gold or whether it's $3,000 gold. That's the kind of deposit that we're after. And so gold doesn't necessarily need to have its day for us to be successful.
That's good to hear. I mean, if gold drops 20, 30%, it's going down with broader markets, you guys sound like you would be okay and be fine with that. In terms of finances.
Yeah, I'd rather it doesn't happen, but yeah, we're well financed, and really the targets we're getting into look like they have a chance at succeeding in even a very bearish bull environment or very bearish gold environment.
Excellent. You guys sound well positioned. So what else would you like the viewers to know? Any last insights or input?
I think the takeaways are really that we're a very dedicated company, hardworking, and we're driven to achieve here. And we are working in a district scale area where we've made some pretty incredible discoveries. And I think we didn't really get into the meat of the discoveries, but I would encourage investors to go to our website, dig out recent press releases, dig out our corporate presentation, and just look at what we're onto here. We've I think set a new bar for what reduced intrusion related gold deposits, things like Fort Knox in Alaska or Eagle in the Yukon, what they can look like. And we're in the thick of it. We have more than 90% of our drill results from this season still to come, and with 3 drills turning. So yeah, it's really a discovery play that's unfolding now, and if people are looking for this kind of a thing, then they should really check us out.
So check quarterly for drill results and really keep an eye on.
Yeah, sign up for our mailing list. We have things going through the lab. We could get assays back whenever, and we'll be putting those out. So I think the story's already exciting. We're excited, but it's going to change as it's going to evolve as we get more and more assays back, and as the dimensions and the scale and the grade of this discovery really come online.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your time, Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Appreciate it.
Welcome.